Wow, what a nice day. Sun's out, everything's warming up. There is no breeze up here, which is crazy.
A few moments later.
The wind just picked up out of nowheres.
What the shit's going on out here?
My tripod fell over. My phone's fine, thankfully. My gimbal's not doing so well. It Hey folks, how's it going? Out for another day hike. We're gonna do a little training today, I think. Should be a nice walk up Chickahominy Mountain. We're gonna go up through some scrambly rocks, some steep sections. I have about 15 pounds on my backpack, so it should be pretty good. Good training for the day. Get to the top, maybe get something to eat. Got some beautiful views already. Hopefully we get some more views when we get up there. Pretty windy, a bit cold, but I think it'll warm up as we go. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. So as you know, I've been doing a fair bit of training lately. So these hills are important to get the legs kind of working in the right way. Now, having said that, I thought it might be fun to tell you a little bit about my first backpacking trip, which, well, it was a struggle. So there are 2 or 3 really important lessons I learned from that trip that I kind of apply to all the things that I do now, because I find it makes it a lot more enjoyable when I'm kind of prepared and in shape for my season. So my first backpacking trip was to Cape Chignecto Provincial Park. It was just an overnighter. I remember it quite distinctly because I think my backpack was like 35 pounds or so. Yeah, it was actually, I think it was closer to 40 with everything. So the first real mistake that I made in my backpacking career was don't pack your fears. So I had everything under the sun, probably way too much clothes, way too much food. I know that I just brought a ton of stuff and had this like 6-pound backpack. It was like an expedition pack. It was hilarious. Great pack. I loved that pack. It looked cool. Yeah, that's my first real tip. Just sit down, take your gear, look at it and think, what's gonna make me comfortable so I can have the most fun? And if you can answer that question firmly, that's the most important thing. The other thing to remember too is paying attention to environment and conditions that will affect your gear choices. So at the end of the day, you know, if it's not gonna rain and the forecast looks good, you check it the day before, then don't bring your rain gear. You know, some trips you do like bike packing, you have grocery stores, so maybe you don't pack as much food. You know, you pick up stuff as you go along. So there's a lot of things you need to think about, but you can sit there and kind of evaluate each one accordingly. Yeah, I'm thinking back to those days. So I had that 40 pounds and climbing like these steep climbs at the park. And yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I remembered after the first 10 kilometers or so, I was pretty beat. Yeah, I remember thinking to myself, man, this is going to be really hard. After the first big climb, it was quite tiresome, and I was in good shape. I was a long distance runner. It's not like I hadn't been exercising or anything like that. And whew, yeah, that was a big one. Yeah, I can still remember that trip like it was yesterday because it was quite exciting and exhilarating, but I was quite scared because I knew that I was carrying a lot of weight. I didn't really know how much weight I was really carrying until I started the steep climbs, and then the punishment began. And I was planning on 20 kilometers that day. And for somebody who had not really been into hill climbing with weight on my back, that was quite a challenge. So which then induced a little more fear in the trip. So yeah, it's very challenging. It was fun. Yeah, this whole area is pretty cool. So this is all part of the Appalachian Range. So there's like all these huge boulders all over the place. That's pretty cool. Up ahead, you'll see tons of boulders and, like I said, scrambly rocks, and it's pretty cool. I think one of my favorite things about hiking on the East Coast is these kind of rocky, mountainous type terrains. Well, the next big mistake I made was not using the proper footwear and not being trained on them. So when it comes to backpacking and hiking in general, it's good to be in shape for it. So climbing hills, doing steps, working out at the gym, all help. At the end of the day, I really feel like on-trail experience is the most important thing. You can run on a treadmill, but it's not like running. You can lift a weight, but it's not the same as going up a hill. It's just that your feet are imbalanced, and so you have to learn that coordination and strength of utilizing different muscles that are similar to compound movements, but not necessarily engaging all the same muscles at the same time. And then the second thing, of course, is the shoes. I started out with big, heavy, hiker boots. They were horrible. My feet swelled into them. I didn't like them. They took on a lot of water. And then the day I started switching into trail runners, that's when it got a lot better. They're lightweight, they're durable, a bit expensive, I will admit, but no more expensive than boots. And extremely comfortable, dry fast, don't want waterproof, you're wasting your time. So it just makes these hikes a lot easier. And good soles are good for rocks too. You don't want something too sneakery where it's soft, because then you'll feel every single rock as you walk along. This is awesome. I love this hike. I think I forgot where the trail is. I think it's over there somewhere, but we're all going that way anyway, so it'll all work out.
There's a friction in my conscience. Am I too far gone? Does the good mean there must be something?
turned out to be a really nice day in the end. When I biked over here, I was getting snow pellets in the face for the last 10 kilometers, so I'm quite happy. Yeah, I remember this hike being, difficult. Not too bad, but there's a lot of blowdown, so it makes it a little tricky. Almost fell a couple times. Yeah, hiking and filming can be a juggle at times. So we got a little bit further to go, not very far. We're gonna go up and see if we can get a view of the bay over there. And then we're gonna go to the peaks and yeah, good training. Oh, that's brutal. Brutal. So there was a fire here a couple of years ago, I think, maybe a year ago. And there was these little mini trails all through here that you can kind of meander through. They're not very long, but it was easy to navigate. Now, since the fire, it's basically made a lot of this impassable. So I'm having to figure out where I am and where I'm going. I think it's this way. Wow, what a nice day. Sun's out, everything's warming up. There is no breeze up here, which is crazy. It was worse down there than it is up here, so I'm gonna take it. So yeah, let's learn about lesson 3. Oh yeah, that's great. This is wonderful. Whew, a little windy, but not too bad. So yeah, picture this. I'm in Cape Chignecto. I walked 20 kilometers in with a pack that's 35 to 40 pounds. At this point, I haven't eaten anything. I found at the end of the day, there are a few good meals that I like almost across the board, certain snacks that I like that are very similar. Now, I'll admit, once in a while, it gets boring, but at the end of the day, you want to finish your day of hiking after 20K and you want to eat your food. That's like very important, because if you're not hungry, it makes it very difficult to replenish your nutrition and your fuel and your energy for resting, which is a big part of it, and then exercising the next day. If I had to add anything on top of all that, is try and plan your trips to be fun. Things that you really want to see, mountains you want to get to the top of, rivers you want to see, lakes you want to swim in, whatever it is, make your trip around something you know is going to be fun. Just to throw this in there, if you are kind of scared of being in the woods or worried about wildlife, I can tell you from firsthand experience, it is not a problem. It is just uncomfortable. Your brain likes to protect itself from nature. It wants to look for things that are a problem. And I'm telling you right now, especially if you're on the East Coast, nature's not going to be your biggest challenge. Bears and things like that are not going to be a massive problem. They're not going to, shouldn't be the deterrent. The biggest hurdle most people have, I think, would be sleeping in the woods, which is an experience of itself. I still find it kind of difficult because it's quite noisy and can be a bit unsettling. Fear, food, feet, and fun. Keep it simple. I think I'm going to take my own advice right now and I'm going to get something to eat, and then we'll get out of here. This thing is light. Yeah. No. Well, that was fun. The wind just picked up out of nowheres. My tripod fell over. My phone's fine, thankfully. My gimbal's not doing so well. It is what it is. I think I can fix it. But yeah, it might not be a good idea to film too much right now as the wind just, came out of nowhere. It was perfectly calm, and now it's just all gusty. So, yeah, better safe than sorry at this point. You know, fear is a funny thing. I've always struggled with being alone. I think when it comes to these trips and things that I do, they are fun and I enjoy them, but I feel like the experience is lost a little bit without having somebody with me. And the wind's picking up, so I'm gonna grab the camera real quick. Yeah, so it can be a little tricky planning trips and things like that, but it's still a lot of fun. I wish I had somebody that I could get out and do more with, but you know what? I'm my own best friend, so I just gotta be my own company, don't I? That's a little better. Yeah, so I mean, at times I go on some trips and, you know, I'm out for 2 or 3 days and it can be quite lonely. It's not too bad. Oddly, I find it more fun and interesting when I'm filming because it's almost like having somebody with me, because I could just talk to you as if you're here, but you're not, but we'll pretend. It adds an element of me being, okay, I don't mind going out in the world as much. Yeah, so I have lots planned. Life is good. Life is good. The microphone's working out pretty good, I think. You know, I don't know if it's 1,000 times better because A, it's the first time I got it working from the last 2 videos. So hopefully it's all working out, but we'll see. No, it's been a great day. I'll say this. With all 3 videos, including the first 2 that I just did and then this one, everyone has been a struggle in the first to get going, and for a couple reasons. One is being able to speak to the camera takes me a little time. I need to get lubed up a little bit, if you want to call it that. Get into the rhythm, relax. It's like I should probably, in a weird way, hike and film and then do impromptu stuff. And so it's been interesting. It's been interesting to do it because there's that part of your brain goes like, oh, is this going to be one of those days? And you know, you gotta push through sometimes. Yeah, so let me know down in the comments if there's anything you want me to talk about. So things that I know quite a bit about is backpacking, bike packing, hiking, camping, gear of all types, physical health, nutrition. Yeah, I know a fair bit of stuff. So if there's anything specific you want me to talk about at some point in time, feel free to leave it in the comments. But for now, what I'll do is, as I'm doing these training and odd videos that may not be camping related, but maybe just fun adventures for me, maybe we'll sprinkle in some stories and some things that make it a little more interesting rather than just watching this old fart run all over the countryside, filming himself and talking to himself in the woods. For now, my food's getting cold. My coffee is cold, which is fine. This is what they don't tell you about outdoor filming. It's like everything gets cold by the time you actually get to eat it because you're filming all the time. All right, folks, thanks for watching. Really appreciate it. If you liked this video, feel free to sub down below, hit the like button. Don't forget to hit the bell for some notifications. Leave me a comment if you have any suggestions for videos, or just say, hey, it's all good. So, peace. You be well.